Hi everyone and Happy New Year to you. I did my usual thing of disappeared mid-December like every other year because work just got really hectic. And so yeah, we are in 2018 already. I didn't do a favourite books of 2017 video, but that will hopefully be going up this Friday. I'm not going to do a worst books of 2017 video this year because I didn't have a great reading year. I just don't genuinely know which books I just hated because they were bad versus what my reading mood was just like most of the year, just meh. So yeah, not going to bother with that. Today I want to talk to you about some of my goals for this upcoming year. Not many. And I just want to do a few sort of geeky stats to do with last year's reading and yeah, just, you know, have a little chatty catch up. So in 2017, I set myself the reading goal of reading 100 books. I do that every year and I've met it once or twice, and then the last 2 years I haven't. Last year, as I said, I hit 73. I'm pretty okay with that. Like I said, it was a rubbish year. It'd have been nice to have a few more books that I loved out of that 73, but you know, here's to 2018 hopefully being much better on that front. I just want to quickly talk to you about some of those books though. So out of those 73 books, I gave 3 1 star. That's pretty high, I feel. But on the plus side, I only gave 5 2 stars. I think I usually have a lot more than that 2 stars, so it's balanced out a little. A handful of 3 stars. The vast majority of the books were actually 4 stars. Like, there were a lot of 4-star books. And then there's a good chunk of 5-star books. Most of those will end up on my top 10, as they are favourites. And then there'll be a couple on there that just won't quite make it, sadly. But out of those, that added up to 17,437 pages. To put that into perspective, in 2016, I only read 14,000, and then in 2015, I read 23,000. So I was sort of in between those 2 years in terms of quantity. Just the quality wasn't there, my mood wasn't there. So one thing I've learned from last year is that I made early on in the year, around February time, something like 10 books I want to read in 2017. And guess how many of those I read? None. Not one. Nada. I'm really disappointed in this. They're all books I'm really interested in reading. I just went into some sort of weird reading mood where I just didn't want to read physical books. So I was reading Night Film for most of the year. And then after that, I just jumped straight into my Harry Potter reread because I wanted to get in on that. And that is going so well. That is going fantastic. I can't wait to do my wrap up on Sunday, just filling you in on how that is going. So this year, I don't want to do that. I might do the occasional video where I mention books I want to read soon. That might happen. But I'm not going to do any pressure on myself in terms of like 10 books I want to get to this year, because if last year's anything to go by, it's just not going to happen at all. So what are my goals for this year then? Towards the end of last year, I thought I was going to set myself the reading goal of 1 book this year. And that's because I wondered whether perhaps a lot of the pressure and so my lack of reading mood came from looking at my goal and knowing I was behind and not having the motivation to try and catch up. And it was just unnecessary pressure. The Goodreads goal should not be pressure. So I was thinking I might just set it at 1, and if I read 100 books, great. If I read 10, whatever. But then temptation got the better of me yesterday, and so I set it at 100 as usual, because actually I haven't hit it 2 years in a row now, and each time I've not been that bothered that I haven't hit it. So I don't think the pressure is coming from there. I think the pressure is just coming from the amount of ridiculous unread books I have. It is just insane. And I like it that way, and I just need to try and take the pressure back off myself a bit. I've started working on that the last few months. My reading has improved as a result, so I'm going to continue on in the way I've been doing that. Which is, of course, my TBR bag, where I'll pick 1 title out each week. More if the amount on my Kindle drops to below 20. So, mentioning the TBR bag, by using that for the bulk majority of my reading, it means I'm not really getting to many classics, One of my goals last year was to read more classics, and I achieved that mainly through audiobooks. And so I want to read some physical classics and some Kindle classics too. So I've started shoving Kindle classics in my TBR bag. I've also got plenty of classics on my shelves that hopefully I'll be able to get to this year because I won't be reading the same book for 11 months. That's the plan. One of my goals last year was to do more rereading and to reread Harry Potter. That went relatively well. I spent a lot of the year managing to get a few rereads in here, a few rereads in there. Not as much as I'd have liked, but not a terrible amount either. And meanwhile, rereading Harry Potter did happen, but not until towards the very end of the year and has gone on into this year. So I want to reread anything that I feel that I want to reread. I want to read what I want. I'm not going to have any pressure this year at all. It's just going to be have fun. That is the goal. Let's see how this year's reading goes. I mean, I always feel really excited at the beginning of January for all the books I'm going to read this year. And I feel really motivated. And I think last year I read something ridiculous, like about 12 books in the first couple of weeks of January. I'll probably end up doing something similar this year. And it'll probably go downhill from there, because it always does. Because I can't at least keep up that level throughout the year. I just wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't get anything done. You know, there has to be a bit of balance. But I'm really excited to see what I get to. As in terms of like what I'm going to be uploading and when. So the wrap-ups are going to stay on Sundays, even though they can be quite difficult for me to get up some Sundays. I'm going to stick with that because it works with what I'm hoping will happen this year. So wrap-ups on Sundays, book hauls Wednesdays, other bookish stuff Fridays, or book reviews Fridays. It'll depend what I've got ready for that week. Wednesdays where I've not got a book haul, there might be a book tag, there might be a discussion. There will be something every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday. I'm going to be really strict in terms of making myself actually stick to my uploading schedule this year, because last year it went to pot so many times and there's no excuse. If I can sit down and film one video, I've got the time to sit down and film 10 if needs be, and that's what I'm going to start doing. So if I need to film a few weeks in advance, I'm going to get into making myself bulk film. It's going to happen. So you might see 6 videos in a row where I'm wearing the exact same thing every single video. Sorry about that. Time constraints. So yeah, that's just what's basically going on with me, my reading, my plans, and what happened last year. Let me know if you've got any reading goals. If you made a video, link me down below. I will go and watch it. I'd love to discuss what you have learned from previous reading goals versus what you're going to do this year too. I love the beginning of a fresh year. It all feels so exciting and fresh, and new start. Let's see how long that lasts. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me just so if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me. And I will see you, what day is it today? What day is it today?
Tuesday.
Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow with a book haul. Bye bye!